I think the biggest thing is shock because we weren't expecting it. But if we had a mayoral plan for Devon and Cornwall, I wouldn't be so worried because seems to be the natural focus of what this government wants to deliver is more mayors across the country. And you'd still have some sort of democratic mandate as a deputy mayor running policing. We don't have that in Devon and Cornwall, so I'm a bit nervous about what the alternative is.
Do you think this will save money? There seems to be a suggestion that a lot of the money would save money in elections rather than day-to-day costs.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a misnomer around the cost of the election because they could just align us with other elections instead of letting us have a standalone one. And they'd say, and we've lobbied for this for years actually with the previous government as well, to say we could save money by moving our election to align with local council elections, for example. But the government failed to do it, so they've actually wasted more money than they needed to. That is a poor answer as to why they've done it when they could just move the election.
There's been a suggestion PCCs generally didn't have enough power to make that much of an impact. Your thoughts on that?
Well, there are definitely some challenges. I've been lobbying for powers of investigation over chief constables. As many people will know, that I've had to suspend 2 of them, and I've got no power to be able to speed up that investigation and get it done in the public interest. So I've been lobbying for powers around that. The other one I've been lobbying on is a power of competence around the finances, which is like a bit like local government. But what that is about is being able to set up companies. And I've innovated with prisoners building homes, and I've got prisoners building homes out of Leyhill Prison up in Gloucestershire, building houses on my patch, but the governance around it is difficult because we don't have the power to set up a company. So there are things that would have helped us deliver more innovation if we'd been allowed.
There's suggestions today that a fair percentage of people don't know what a police and crime commissioner is. Do you feel the role did manage to cut through to the public?
Well, I think you'll find with a lot of things that happen, 10 years isn't very long, and we're just, I would say, getting to the point of performing because we've got a lot of mature police and crime commissioners who really understand what the role is about now. And people didn't when they first got elected back in 2012. And it's a bit like everything that happens. It's taken 10 years to move to performance, and then the government decides it's not performing. They've never made that decision about elected councillors, have they, on local councils? And the turnout for their elections are only sometimes 30%. So I think it's some poor, weak evidenced arguments that the government are trying to make. It's clearly a political one because, you know, how else do you win favour with the public than other than getting rid of a politician? No one's ever going to refute that they want more politicians.
You had a big focus on road safety. You're able to sort of drive the agenda in some ways. Are you worried it will go back to Whitehall and priorities that we could expect that aren't necessarily these ones?
The experiences I've got being across Devon, Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly is all of the people who live there are my constituents. So I care about the whole of the counties and the islands, whereas each local authority only cares about its small area. So they're quite parochial about wanting just investment in their small areas, whereas I can see where the best investment's needed across the 2 counties. And I am worried about the fact that we'll go back to a little bit of parochialism unless we are able to secure elected mayor for Devon, Cornwall and the Isles of Scilly to ensure that the voice of the people of Devon and Cornwall are heard by government, because that's where the money is going to come, is through mayors. It's not going to come through leaders of councils. So we need to, I think, step up.
And we're increasingly seeing concerns about things like 2-tier policing, generally internet conspiracies. Your role was created to be able to hold the police to account, wasn't it? Do you worry about that, what we might see on the internet as a result of this?
Well, I'm particularly concerned because the consent for policing is the way that we police in this country, and there's a lot of toxicity being talked about in the space in our communities at the moment, especially around policing. But I can be absolutely assure our communities that I have done the scrutiny, I chair the Criminal Justice Board, I oversaw the riots, and there is not 2-tier policing in Devon, Cornwall and the Isles of